Mealtime can be full of wonders, and some of the most wonderful bites are to be found at the Gray, once a streamlined, modern-style bus station designed to segregate black and white. It's now the hottest dinner spot in the South, all thanks to two-time James Beard-winning chef Mashama Bailey. Mashama uses the space to bring diners together to experience an elevated Southern cuisine which combines influences of her French culinary education, her Bronx upbringing, and her Georgian roots. So we are a big melting pot, here in America. How does that influence the foods we eat?
My dad had a really good friend growing up, and he married a woman that was Korean. And so we spent a lot of time together, eating together, sharing food together. I don't feel completely comfortable, like, putting a kimchi on the menu, but I do understand the concept. Like, what does that mean for me? Is it sauerkraut? Maybe not, but it might be chow chow. And I think that that's how the melting pot kind of influences each other.
What is it that best defines the taste of America?
When you sort of Google what's American food, it's like casseroles and, hamburgers. American food is really regional. I like to say that Southern food really helps define American food. I think it's extremely influential on what people think of as American food, but you can say the same thing if you grew up off the coast of Maine, or if you grew up in, Oregon, or if you live in Southern California. I think it really sort of depends on the region and what ingredients are accessible and how you have cultivated those ingredients to make delicious food.
What do you think our grandparents would have thought about the variety and the abundance of food that we have today?
I don't think they would have eaten it. I think our grandparents lived, worked, shopped, ate in their community. So, I think they would probably think it was a little, not weird, but just very extravagant, you know? The world is a lot smaller, and a lot of it is because we've sort of intertwined our communities. And when you intertwine communities, you have to bring the food of that community in order to nourish that community.
How do you think recipes developed, generations ago, when they weren't necessarily thinking about being a chef at a restaurant, but just for their families at home?
When you cook, you want people to like your food. And so I think recipes develop from the fact that the food was enjoyed, and I think people try to replicate it. Really, it's about taste and praise. I think recipes come from that. I think mealtime is more than just the food that you are eating. I think it's the place. I think it's the company. Our hope is that you leave here feeling special.
Yeah.
And we just want to provide the atmosphere for that.
Finally, after taking in the aroma from the kitchen all afternoon, it was time to eat. And since we didn't want to live a life full of regret, we might have ordered the entire menu. I regret nothing.